Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video. I am going to be conscious to try and avoid, I guess, anything that could be even remotely resembling an upfront spoiler in these. I do really like talking about the story developments each and every week, and you don't have to watch this video right away after I upload it if you haven't gotten into it yet. But I am going to be try to be more careful with like thumbnails and titles and things. I know last week was not the best in that, so I will be trying to change that going forward. And today's really kind of the last week for story developments anyway, probably, other than maybe something at the end of the year. So we will see where things go from here. Spoilers do follow after this, so don't watch this if you have not played today's events yet, although there were not really any giant reveals here. And this kind of is something of an anticlimax now that we have the last relic here. And, well, I think we might get something at the end of the season. For now, it seems like we're in one of our traditional time to break, and then we do the holiday event, and then maybe we do something in the final week or two of the season to kind of wrap this up. A little bit predictable with the scheduling here. Okay, so today is Collect the Last Nezarec Relic Day. There are 8 relics in total, these little jars and things that have pieces of Nezarec. I guess the most important pieces, because I don't think you can assemble a full Nezarec through 8 jars of random fingers and crap. This time around, Ido wants us to... or Ido goes to find the final thing for herself, so we have one of the typical Destiny, like... there's a voiceover going on, but Ido's never in the same room as us, and she's always like one step ahead of us. We did this with Crow a lot, where Crow's like, I'm covering your flank, and he's like somewhere else that we never see him, because Destiny doesn't really do friendly AI for the most part. So this is just another kind of mishmash of lost sectors, kill some things, it's all Lucent Hive this time. The Lucent Hive have just kind of swarmed the remaining pirate crews in search of this last relic here, and then this does end on a cutscene. The cutscene is Ido. So I guess we arrive before this happens, but Ido has apparently been protected by Aramis against the Lucent Hive. Mithrax and Aramis get in a sword fight, pirate style, swashbuckling, whatever. It's pretty cool. And then Ido's like, no, don't kill Aramis when Mithrax can see advantage. And Mithrax does not kill Aramis, and Aramis escapes by jumping on a ketch that is leaving. Ido sends her an invitation later to come hang out at the city and start over, but the lore entry we get after that is Aramis kind of believes that the future of the Elixni is with people like Ido, and Ido specifically. However, she doesn't think she is included in that future, so I would not really expect Aramis to show up in the last city or the Elixni Quarter anytime soon, as far as I can tell. And that's kind of the end. Like, the quest line is actually over in terms of collecting all the relics. The 68-step thing is over. Now we wait around for Mithrax and Ido to figure out what we do with the relics. And I don't know if this is something that is supposed to be kicking off the events of next season, or ending this season with one of those, like, here's a thing that happens in the last week of the season events. I know there's a community event coming in the back half of the season. I'm not going to talk about it or say what it is. It is not related to the relics, I don't think. But that is something I think that's going to, it's related to the seasonal story to a certain extent. So that will be something to do. I don't think it's tied to Festival of the Laws. I only know like the base overview of what it is. So this is just based on some API stuff, not any like super inside info. So we will see what happens with that. So there will be something to do, but we will see what that actually looks like when it arrives, because I'm not sure the exact kind of mechanics of how it's all going to work. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen with the Nezarec stuff. Ido here talks about something called the Curse of Nezarec, where it drains the life force of people, and she's like, I don't believe that, it's superstition, and blah, 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 and, like, obviously that's not superstition. There have been a couple theories that, like, Ido will be killed by this, or possessed by Nezarec, and, like, Ido could be resurrected as a guardian, or she could get darkness powers or something. This also could have something to do with Osiris, because we know Osiris needs to come back and wake up before Lightfall, although him being possessed by a second thing, in this case Nezarec, would be a little too much, I think, but we don't know if this could be related to him at all. But we do know that we are not doing anything specific with the relics as of this week, and we are going to have to wait for an unspecified date that is probably at least a month and a half away, if we're getting towards the end of the season there. We are going to be headed into Festival of the Lost, where I don't actually know what we're doing, like activity-wise for Festival of the Lost, because the Haunted Forest is sunset. What did we do last time? Wasn't the Haunted Forest sunset last time for Festival of the Lost too, because Mercury went away? I don't remember what we did. Anyway, we have mech armor, we have a mech sniper rifle, I think, and candy and whatever, so we'll see what happens there. I think that starts next week. I'm not 100% sure. I need to look at... There is no roadmap. They don't do roadmaps anymore, so... I know there is a big patch coming on the 18th. I don't know if Festival starts then. It might, or it might start the next week. I'm not sure, but that is going to be a thing. Community event will be a thing, and we will see where we go from there. I don't really love this season's story so far. It's just a little bare bones for me. It, told in these... It's essentially 5-minute increments, because the stuff before the seasonal story content each time is like run 3 catch crashes or run a master catch crash in an expedition, and like that's pretty much it. We stopped kind of getting new dialogue in those a long time ago. We have these little kind of holographic communication things, and then we have one mini Lost Sector mission with some voice work, and then some voice work when we turn in the relic and stuff. And this time we did have a cutscene, so that was different, but it's pretty much just like Mithrax does not want Ido to know that he used to be very violent, even though we already know Mithrax is very violent, and like the stuff we're talking about here doesn't even seem as bad as what we've already know he did, where he like butchered a ton of Guardians, like back when he was like a Elixni warrior. We got the final page of Mithrax lore today, which talks about he was like a pirate with Spider, or Brachus, who used to be Spider, or who became Spider, and his idea was they found a ship of humans on Mars, and Spider wanted to enslave them, and Mithrax said no, and there was this big like mutiny thing, and Mithrax slaughtered a bunch of his own crew and then marooned Spider so he wouldn't betray him again. And that's like, I don't know, one of the bad things Mithrax did, but like, I don't know, man, whatever. It doesn't seem that bad to me. So it's just, the conflict here doesn't really seem like that much of a conflict. I'm kind of more interested in Aramis, like, being frozen all this time and then being dragged out of being frozen to work for the Witness. I'm kind of curious about her loyalties to the Witness, and like why she would kind of keep serving him, and why she wants kind of nothing to do with this new civilization that Ido is building. And I have been interested in what is going to happen to Ido, because it very much seems like they are building toward Ido, something with Ido. Ido getting light powers, Ido dying and being resurrected, Ido getting infected by the curse of Nezarec. I don't know, something. But nothing happened this week, so we don't really have anything to go on other than speculation for future things. And now we take this really long break in the story that is probably going to last at least a month, I think. Based on what we're seeing here, based on the quest wrapping up, based on all the lore pages being done, like, there's no more log messages, like, all of that is done, so we are just sort of waiting around for something. And that might not even be till the beginning of next season, so we don't really know in full. Other than that, not a whole lot happening. I don't think there's anything special this week. There was a hotfix today that was the center of some controversy, because DMG wrote a bunch of funny patch notes that was like, they're testing a new type of hotfix, which I don't know the technical mumbo-jumbo behind that, but DMG wrote a bunch of funny patch notes that are like, there's no secret quest here, we promise. Like, don't go looking for one, don't cry if you don't find one. And like, he was just kidding, and then everyone was like, that's what you would say if there was a secret quest. And some people are giving him crap because there has not been a secret quest in Destiny for so long. And to tease us like that is a bummer, but like, I don't know, whatever. He's allowed to make jokes. I think it's fine. I don't think it's, quote, in bad taste. Like, calm down. It's not a big deal. I do think we need more secret quests, but I'm not like offended by his joke about these patch notes. It's whatever. Other stuff happening. Again, there's not really going to be anything until Festival of Lost, I don't think. and whenever this community event starts, whether that coincides or not. And even then, like, I'm not expecting anything really significant or crazy until the end of the season. Just, farm for that sniper rifle and whatever. So we'll see what happens from here. I'm just doing my usual. I've got all my red frame patterns for the seasonal weapons. I think today I can get either my last copy of the grenade launcher or my last copy of the BXR, because you get a guaranteed knockout red bar from Legendaires. And I'm only missing 2 now. I'm missing 2 copies of each of those weapons, or total 2. So I will get one of those today, and that's it. And I should probably be playing other games because there's not a whole lot going on here. So anyway, that is the end of the first part of the Relic saga. I was kind of hoping we would end on like a big explosive note with the Nezarec stuff, but if that does happen, that is not going to be in place for probably another month, at least at the end of the season, or perhaps at the beginning of the next one. So anyway, that is everything for this week. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.